Alright, day one. So for everybody out there watching, as of now, I found out last night, roughly around 3 a.m., a little bit before that, but currently, as of now, Donald Trump is the president-elect. He's going to be president of the United States. God help us all. And I found out from my wife, um, I find this kind of funny. Um, she said that she told me that a website that had to deal with Canada, for instance, was flooded
The
with.
Canadian immigration website, y'all. That's what got shut down because we all were trying to run from the U.S. All of us trying to run away.
If you can hear that, I think you can.
They already know because I think I already told them on my video.
Yeah, it's not exactly a pleasing notion that he could be president. I think he's gonna screw up big time his first time out. The bad part about it is the fact that everybody's gonna talk about it. Just I'm not the only one. So, if you want to say what's on your mind, be my guest. It's not gonna bother me because I wouldn't have voted for him. I think he's a dick, an idiot, an asinine bullshitter. Plain and simple. That's how I think about it. That's how I think of him. And if, I really don't care if he's watching or Secret Service watching. I don't give a shit. Okay? You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. I don't give a shit if they are or not. It makes no difference to me. All I know is the fact that A, he is a dick. Okay? His only sense of knowledge is his sense of this, which is not knowledge at all. He's got a swelled head. That's what I meant by that. He's got a swelled head. His ego is about the size of his head. So the bigger his ego, the bigger his swelled head gets. And he's got such a chip on his shoulder. God help us. We might all die from it falling off. Trust me, I got a lot on my mind to say, but right now I'm just going to try and keep it short. So, I understand if you got things to say. Trust me. I would have voted for Hillary if I'd had the chance. She would have been better off being president than him. So, that's who I would have wanted instead of him. And that's what I did want instead of him. Everybody knows that him becoming president is pretty much a repeat of another president we had that had a term for 2 years, Richard Nixon. So history is repeating itself from Richard Nixon being president to Donald Trump being president. And if everybody knows from being Richard Nixon's term, 2 years in his 4-term office, what he did at Watergate, which he kind of fucked up on his part, which ended up him leaving office on his own after being found out. What Donald Trump's doing currently, or wants to do, he wants to eliminate a lot of federal programs, which happens to be housing. Okay, which is Section 8 housing. He wants to eliminate that. He wants to eliminate Social Security. He wants to eliminate disability. He wants to eliminate food stamps. He wants to eliminate WIC. He wants to eliminate Medicaid or Medicare, he wants to limit those kind of programs. He wants to some of the other programs he wants to eliminate is federal Pell Grants for students in college. He don't care about the loan part. God forbid if he gets rid of the loan part. I wish he would, but unfortunately, he's getting rid of the stuff that actually matters instead of the stuff that doesn't matter. And the stuff that does matter, it's going to put this country so far back. I figure it's going to put this country back by 60 years behind. He's already talking about deporting Hispanic citizens who are already currently U.S. citizens. Anybody who's not a natural U.S. citizen. He's saying Hispanics, anybody from other countries. He's even thinking about, and he said this himself, he's even thinking about deporting people that are from South America, or sending people to South America, such as the African American communities. And he's really, really pissing people off. He's got me pissed off big time. I mean, you just don't do that to people. And I also think he's probably going to end up his first time out. I think he's going to gas prices, I know, are going to rise for sure. Cost of living is definitely going to rise for sure. A gallon of milk today is like $3 something in the stores. Well, when he gets further into it, I'm pretty sure it's going to cost nearly $10 for a gallon of milk. For what we pay on gas currently, I'm looking at like a $1.88 or $1.89. Okay, what we pay for gas now, and we take it for granted. I know we do. What it costs now, since he's in office, we're going to end up paying 3 times the amount that we currently pay now. Some of us are paying $2 a gallon. Well, it's going to be about 3 times the amount, 3 times that amount. So we're probably going to be paying almost the same amount as a gallon of milk. For real. I mean, that's inflation big time on his part. So I told a lot of people, be ready for a roller coaster ride that's never going to end. I have a feeling, and I strictly have a feeling, that his reign of terror is going to be the end of him, or the end of his term. Who knows? He could be in office for 1 month and be impeached for a lot of the stuff he wants to do. I mean, I know some of the stuff he wants to do has to be voted, but since he's got the Republican vote, it just might happen. Who knows? I'm hoping it doesn't. But I really don't want none of that stuff to happen, to be honest. But I'm also thinking that he wants to bring money back to us, businesses and stuff like that. I get that, but his idea, I guess, has to be, we get nothing from any other countries. We are pretty much closing in a sense, the way he's got it in his mind, I guess, is closing all U.S. borders to every country, to where no one comes into this country unless you currently live here, which is kind of stupid. Closing the borders to the U.S. altogether from other countries. That's kind of stupid. He even says, for business-wise, closing the borders to Mexico permanently, closing the borders to Canada permanently. I mean, I can understand why people are wanting to go to Canada because he's now president. Can you blame him? I sure as hell can't. I suggested the same thing to my brother Matt and my wife, and God forbid if they both agree. Hell, my brother made a joke that instead of going to Canada, why not go to Australia? There was a lot of people up at my job that were generally pissed off. Everybody was talking about it up at my job. I mean, who's not? Everybody's going to be talking about it constantly. So, say what you want, get it off your chest. I've just barely scratched the surface of what I want to say. So, have at it.